This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
Hello, and thanks for tuning into a special update edition of Couples Court. With us today is our aftercare specialist, Dr. Jeff Gardier, and joining us later is Grammy-nominated singer Angie Stone with her special take on relationships.
Dr. Jeff, after court, you have been there to help our litigants deal with the truths that have come to light in our courtroom. Thank you for joining us today.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Let's take a look at one of our couples, the Beardens, whose marriage was in crisis due to Mr. Bearden's habitual cheating.
I get a ring at the doorbell. I go to the door. He come follow behind, come down the stairs. It's a sonogram on the door.
I don't even think that sonogram was for me anyway.
Who was it
That
for?
was like, that was supposed, that could have been anybody's baby or something like that. I mean, come on now, at the end of the day, how you can tell off a sonogram that that's actually my child? Like, she could have probably already been pregnant at the end of the day, so.
You was with her, right?
I don't believe that was my baby.
This woman that you were texting, have you been intimate with that woman?
Yes.
When was the last time you were with this woman, intimately?
Like a week ago, a couple weeks ago.
I feel hurt. I feel used.
With the Beardens, there wasn't just one instance of cheating. He cheated multiple times in the past. But the question is, did their relationship survive?
Hey, Couples Court
with the Cutlers.
It's me, Yolanda.
And Jerome. Hope you're watching this, Jeff, because I mean, I'm trying to prove to you, man, and definitely Mr. and Mrs. Cutlers, that, I mean, every inspirational word that you gave me, it was just, I'm definitely putting it into play.
And we're doing great. We're doing so great that we might be expecting. So, bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Dr. Jeff, his wife slipped in at the end that they might be expecting, and I do hope it works out for them. But my question is, what do you believe are the reasons that make people cheat in the first place?
The thing that I see that happens with many different couples is day-to-day life. The kids, the working all the time, the finances, all of those things can begin to wear down a relationship and finally just break it down completely.
How much does boredom play into cheating?
Well, let's face it, Judge. I mean, boredom is something that happens in every relationship. And that's why it's so important to try as hard as possible to keep it going and deal with the boredom, but in a constructive way.
Mr. Cutler and I, we have to work hard to keep boredom out of our relationship.
I think we do a good job of that.
I agree, love.
Now, for this next case, this couple's marriage plans came to a screeching halt when Miss Manning discovered that her live-in boyfriend was making plans with an old flame.
I have the text messages where him and his ex were texting back and forth to each other.
Why do you need to know if your ex still has feelings for you?
Because I wasn't the one that ended our relationship, Your Honor. My ex was. So therefore, I was wanting and needing closure on that. Me and my
But
ex-
she ended it. That's as much closure as you can get.
Mr. Curtis was asked, have you had any sexual intercourse with the ex with which you were caught texting? What was his response?
His response was no.
What did the lie detector determine?
There was no significant response to this question, which is an indication that the subject was being truthful.
Now, Dr. Jeff, you met with this couple after court, and they're planning to get married next year. Are you surprised at all by this?
Not at all, because one of the things that we do know is that sometimes you have to give that second chance to the relationship and also begin to forgive some of the past mistakes of the relationship.
Very well said, Dr. Jeff.
There are times when the infidelity issues run very deep. In the case of Penner versus Martin, Mr. Penner had a deep suspicion that his girlfriend was sneaking around with someone else.
I made one mistake. I've owned up to it. I've apologized. I've jumped through hoops. But I wouldn't be here if I didn't love that man. Like, I want to marry him. We got 2 children. I'm not lying about anything.
My mom always told me, don't go on a woman person because she might have a snake in it and you might get bit. So, but I didn't listen. I got bit.
Is
that why you told me not to go in your purse all these years, because you got a snake in there?
I won't say I have a snake in there, but if you go in there and you're not supposed to, something will bite you.
All right. So did you get bit?
Yeah, I
by
got
going in
bit
her purse?
because I found a condom in there.
Now,
mind you, we have children. We have children
Okay.
together. We haven't been wearing no condom, and it was an extra medium, and I don't wear that.
Where are
size.
you playing?
You know what I'm saying?
It was a what?
What?
A what?
An extra medium.
What is the extra?
It's small and medium at the same time.
Oh my God.
That's not your
That
size.
ain't my size.
How did he find an extra medium in your purse?
Because Romeo goes through everything I own.
Has she cheated in the past that's made you feel the way you feel?
Yes, Your Honor. She cheated in the past. She had this real big party. So a month later, she comes to me, she's like, I'm pregnant. Shortly after that, she says, that night I had sex with somebody and I didn't use protection. I really don't know I don't even know the guy's name. So from that point right there, I said, oh man, I was tripping.
Wow. We have to take a break, but stay with us to find out if this relationship survived. Welcome back to Couples Court. We're here with the court's aftercare expert, Dr. Jeff Gardier, and we're getting updates on couples who came through our courtroom.
Before we went to break, we found out Mr. Penner wasn't a schmedium. But is Miss Martin a cheater? Let's see what happened.
Since the birth of your first child, have you had sexual contact with anyone other than Mr. Penner? What was Miss Martin's response?
Her response was no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that she was being deceptive.
I knew it.
Ms. Martin failed the lie detector test and denied cheating.
But in this case, they decided to stay together. So I guess they can't see themselves without each other. Dr. Jeff, we heard the case of Robinson versus Grigori. Mr. Robinson swore his wife was cheating because their sex life went downhill after they got married. Take a look at this.
There's been a slight decline in the rate of incidence of the sexual activity. The quality has been a vast decline.
February, in Orange, 3 times a day. The next month, March, 3 times a day. The next month is April, in Orange.
Ooh.
Every single day I turn around, you're a cheater, you're a cheater. It's not fair.
Has Ms. Grigori had sexual contact with any other man other than Mr. Robinson?
She said no.
What did the lie detector show?
The lie detector determined that she was being truthful.
Dr. Jeff, Mr. Robinson and his wife were newlyweds. We have a video update, so let's find out if their marriage has survived.
Things have been a lot, I'd say 80-90% better ever since coming to couples court. I feel like I've gotten a lot of clarity out of it. My favorite part is that the calendar's gotten a lot more full.
Here at Couples Court, we are all about second chances. Dr. Jeff, didn't they look happy?
They looked very happy, and I have to give them a lot of credit for doing the hard work of repairing their relationship.
When we come back, we'll be joined by Grammy-nominated singer Angie Stone.
And we have some more updates to come. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're here finding out if couples stayed together or broke up after getting the truth. Joining us now is one of our friends of the court, Grammy-nominated singer Angie Stone.
The last time you were in our courtroom, you gave advice to a couple dealing with trust issues and a 16-year age gap. That was the case of Winborn versus Winborn. Let's look.
He FaceTimed me, and then his ex pops around the front of the camera. Hi, you know.
She's not telling you all the details of that
I don't
day
have them.
and how everything went down.
Wait.
I gotta answer this.
No. Okay, go ahead.
I gotta ask this.
Go ahead.
Why would you FaceTime your wife with your ex right there?
I FaceTimed her and my ex showed up because I had my kids that day.
So we have our friend of the court, Grammy-nominated singer Angie Stone.
In this case, she's afraid of an ex. She's concerned about an ex.
She should be, because you are afraid and insecure. And I say insecure because ain't no way in the world you can be married 2 months and you just finding all these things out in 2 months when you've been with them for years. Some of these signs had to already be there.
Mr. Winborn was asked, did you have sexual contact with your ex from July 2016 to now? What was his response to that question?
He said no.
And what did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was deceptive.
Whatever you did to get it, baby, you got to stay there to keep it.
You can't do it.
So, Angie, when it comes to the Winborns, what do you think Miss Winborn decided to do after leaving our courtroom?
Well, if she took the advice that I gave her, I think they probably are going to be doing better.
Well, we have your answer. Let's check out their video and see where things stand.
Thank you guys for having us. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie.
You know, Angie, you were a huge part of this healing process because it took a lot for us to realize what it takes to make a relationship like this work. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Oh, that's great. And how does it make you feel to know that you helped them get to where they are now?
Well, it lets me know that we go through things, and not just for us, but for other people. And I just wish I had me to talk to me back then, and maybe I'd have ended up like they ended up.
Everybody can use an Angie Stone.
I know that's right.
Can you stay with us for another case?
Absolutely.
All right, let's revisit the case of Lockhart versus Rogers.
I was getting in my car. There's cigarette butts with lipstick on them in the ashtray.
There's a reasonable explanation for all that.
And I also found empty condom box on the passenger side.
That's not my size. I can't wear those, so.
So if it doesn't fit, we must acquit. Are you cheating?
No, I'm not cheating.
The polygraph determined that you were being truthful. He passed the lie detector test, so I hope things worked out.
She was holding on by a thread. Everything that I sensed, I can honestly tell you that I don't think they will survive.
All right, well, we'll see.
During our session with Dr. Jeff, there were questions about the baby's paternity, so we may or may not need a DNA test. So although he was talking to other girls, it kind of made me want to venture out and start talking to other guys. He found out, and you would have thought the world came to an end. The type that can dish it but can't take it. I come home from work early a few weeks ago, and he had some ugly girl in the house. So needless to say, it's over.
Jeez, after all that, she tried to play his game and talk to other men.
And guess what? It was way too late to start playing games.
Well, she said they may need a DNA test, so maybe we should send them over to Judge Lake at paternity court.
She can get the job done. That's a great idea.
We're almost at the end, but we can't leave out the case of Knowlton versus Knowlton. Mrs. Knowlton thought her husband was the perfect man until she began to suspect that he cheated with one of her family members.
He tried to mess with a family member of mine. He put in the message that how he wanted to have oral sex with her, how bad he wants her, and when I go to work to come over to the house.
I don't even know your honor what's going on or why her family member would tell her that.
He don't even talk to me like that. The things that he put in the message was like so provocative. It was like, I was like, ooh, I was hot. You know, it turned me on, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this is my husband, but he's telling somebody, another woman this. It hurt me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh.
Mr. Knowlton was asked, have you had sexual intercourse with any other woman? What was his response to that question?
Your Honor, his response to that question was also no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector examination determined that he was again deceptive.
Infidelity with a family member is hard to get past. What do you think?
Oh my God, infidelity, period, is hard to get through. But with a family member, is definitely out of the question.
Well, Ms. Knowlton checked in with the court and informed us that they were not able to work through it, and they are filing for divorce.
Okay, so are you ready for our final case of the day?
It was an emotional case that really heated up when Miss Sanchez Brown saw hidden camera footage of her husband with another woman. We'll have that for you after the break.
Couples Court is back. We're here with our special guest, Angie Stone. Angie, before the break, we were discussing the case of Miss Sanchez Brown. During the course of our investigation, we secured hidden camera footage of Mr. Brown interacting with another woman.
Take one of them. 773.
I'm gonna call you if you don't care. So you can.
Did I get it out?
Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you?
We also had Mr. Brown to undergo a polygraph examination, and we have those results.
Mr. Brown was asked, Did you use the condoms your wife found in your house to have sex with women other than your wife? What was his response?
Your Honor, he said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
Your Honor, there was a significant physiological response to this question, indicating deception.
How dare everything I've done for you, Sean? Really? Really? I done had your back from the lowest to the highest, Sean. How dare you?
Angie, as you saw, Mr. Brown's wife wasn't just angry. She was mad. She was really, really mad.
When you hear your husband's cheating or your spouse is cheating is one thing, but seeing is believing.
We have an update from the Browns. Watch this.
We've been working on our marriage, been moving forward. Haven't been arguing lately, so it's good.
We took the advice from the Cutlers to talk things out.
So thank you.
It is truly amazing how Mr. Brown and his wife have been able to come together and talk through their issues. Are you surprised as I am?
I'm super surprised. I didn't think it would last.
I was somewhat surprised, but they took the time to talk it out and work it out. And a lot of times that makes all the difference in the world. You all met in high school. You've known each other for 15 years. You're dating. And I understand that you all are looking for an apartment together. But whether you're looking for an apartment for one or two depends on what happens here today. Am I right, Ms. Heyman?
Correct.
All right, you've initiated this case. Tell us why.
Okay, we're here today because Mo has two addictions, okay? One being strip clubs, and the second being keeping in contact with his exes. Okay, this man literally goes to the strip club 4 to 5 times a week. That's absurd. He claims that he likes their wings. Is why he frequents.
Yeah. They do have good food.
Yeah.
They do have good food, so I've heard.
You see, I'm like, how you know?
I've heard they've got good food.
You heard they've got good food.
I read the reviews. They've got good food.
Anywho, so the wings 4 or 5 times a week.
Yes, that's crazy. And his exes, okay. Inappropriate, still in contact. They call ridiculous times of night, whenever. There's no boundaries, okay? The past needs to stay in the past. I'm his present. He needs to focus here, and if he wants me in his future, he needs to get it together.
So, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, I gotta ask, are you going to the strip club for the wings or for the thighs?
You know what, Mr. Culler, I'm gonna give you some on that one. That was good. That was good.
Nah, she know I go to the strip club a lot when she met me. We done been to the strip club together. She never had no problem when she with me. It's only when she not with me that she have a problem.
Yes.
She know I like the wings. I order the sweet chili wings every single time we go up in there.
And you're saying that's just your thing?
That's my thing, yeah.
But you're saying that's as far as it goes?
That's as far as it goes.
But here's the thing. You admit, because we didn't get any clarity, that you have consistent contact with exes.
Yes, that's correct.
So do you understand why Ms. Heyman has an issue with that?
Yeah, I understand why she has an issue with it, but that's not, you know what I'm saying, them is my friends. So she just wanted me to like cut them off, never talk to them again. Like, I just really don't.
That's exactly what she wants.
I feel like.
But every breakup doesn't have to go down in flames. You can just decide to break up and still be friends.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think you have to go like you said, down in flames, but you need to have boundaries. And she's saying, you know what, if this person was like, let's the 3 of us go to lunch, but calling it 2 in the morning, you being potentially at a strip club with one of them, or out with them, or going to their house, or whatever is going on, that's the problem.
Right.
So something went wrong. What went wrong?
Her insecurity.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's usually something else that gets you there. So what got you there?
Yeah, let me hear from her first.
Exactly. Okay, so one day he said he was going to grab dinner with friends. Fine, I don't have any problem with that. If I was insecure, I would. I had no problem with that. What I had an issue with was when I called him to bring me some food, he did not answer the phone, okay? So my women's intuition told me to go check his
All right,
car.
here we go with the women's intuition.
That radar starts popping off.
Yes.
So then what happened?
So I went to his car, I opened the door, and I'm literally like smacked in the face by this cheap smelling perfume.
But
I actually have.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at you.
You're doing too much.
I have some samples here that I would like you both to smell.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you smelled this sweet smell, what did you do? Did you go back and say, explain?
Yes, so I went in immediately and told him something is off. Your car smells like perfume. Who was in your car?
Okay.
He tells me that basically I'm tripping. It's his air freshener that he uses.
Ah.
Okay.
The sweet, sticky air freshener.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what she's talking about for real. That's all I could come up with, the air freshener. Somebody had to be a couple days ago. Somebody, a friend, I don't know, but I ain't had no girl in my car, so I don't know what she's talking
But
about.
Ms. Heyman, you were sure it didn't smell like any air freshener?
It was not air freshener.
Okay.
So right here I have for you all an air freshener.
Okay.
And then a cheap perfume. So I'm going to spray these on here for you.
I don't know what this gonna prove.
We about to find out.
We're gonna find out for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find
Can
out.
you please?
Ron, would you get that demonstration for us?
There you go.
I think you can just sit
So
right
I put
here.
the coffee beans on there so that you can clear your palate in between. So there's
Look
no
at her.
That's it.
All right,
Okay.
so this is car freshener. Okay. That's kind of nice.
Okay.
It smells like a nice car.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
Mr. Color, this is the part where you sniff the coffee beans, clean your palate.
Actually, like coffee.
Next. Ooh, that's sweet.
Right.
Like strawberries and
Definitely not.
and
like a
that
car
would hit
freshener.
you in the face.
Smack me in my face.
Yeah, I'm not.
There's a difference. Do you just smell it?
I do.
Okay, it's a big difference between car freshener and sweet.
And perfume.
So why does your car smell like candy, Mr. Williams?
And more importantly, who did you have in the car that smelled like candy?
I didn't have nobody in my car that smell like candy. I don't know what that is y'all smelling or what she on, but she just be taking it to another level. I'm trying to tell you.
Well, you know, I think it's very interesting, Cutler. I'm always talking about the sniffers. Miss Heyman had turned me into a sniffer in my own courtroom. All right, what else have you seen that makes you believe that Mr. Williams is cheating?
So let's touch back on these exes that are completely inappropriate. So I went grocery shopping, and I see in the store one of his exes. She specifically comes to the aisle that I'm in, sparks up like this really weird, awkward conversation. But it leads to her telling me that she's actually cooking dinner that night for my man. Okay.
Just cooking dinner for him?
Yes. Again, she's weird. So I kind of would have maybe given him the benefit of the doubt and kind of thought she was trying to get under my skin.
Right.
But that particular night, he did not come home until 10 p.m.
Oh. Okay.
Right.
All right. So the math on that one adds up really quickly.
It was, yeah.
That's a 1 + 1.
Right.
All right, Mr. Williams, where were you the night in question till 10 o'clock?
I was with my friends. I was hanging with my homeboys.
Did you enjoy the dinner that this lady made for you?
I wouldn't know because I didn't have no dinner. She didn't make me no dinner.
You
Can't
did
even
not
cook.
go to dinner at this ex's house?
No, I did not. I don't know why. I wasn't there, so I don't know what was said at the grocery store. I know she is kind of petty, so she might say something like that, but that's kind of pushing it. No, that didn't happen. I was not with her. She ain't cooked me dinner, nothing like that.
What else have you seen?
Okay. One evening, okay, we're looking up apartments for us to move into. So a nice little chill night, watching a little TV. He got up to go to the bathroom, okay? Now, usually his phone is locked, okay? I'm taking this as a gift from God that it did not lock,
It's
okay?
a sign.
It was a sign. It was a sign. So I took that sign and I went ahead and I looked in the phone, okay?
You know if you look, you're gonna find, right?
This is true.
Okay.
This is true. So when I look in his pictures, okay, I see one picture. He's like kind of laid up in a bed. It looks like some strippers are around him. Really questionable photo.
Okay.
I keep scrolling, okay, and then I see the picture, he's standing there, and then there's like a nasty booty in the picture. Just like a booty, which struck me as odd because
You have
of
those
a
pictures?
previous conversation. Yes, I do have those
Right.
pictures.
Would you please get the
God.
pictures?
So we got this picture.
Oh.
We got Mr. Williams. He's laying there, and then you got a woman in some kind of lace outfit.
They have on matching, they got twin outfits on, Cutler. And he's laying in bed. Who are these ladies?
It really don't matter who they are because, hold on, let me say.
Okay.
I want to hear
Because
this before I jump on.
Me and her started dating in June 2018. These is pictures from 2017.
So you're saying these predated you?
Yes.
But they were in his recent photos.
So kind of you recall them from memory?
Yeah, exactly. Because I was recalling them from memory.
Oh yeah, the good old days. You remember the good old days when I was laying up with strippers? And is this?
Yeah.
Here's the next photo. Okay, this is Mr. Williams again.
And it's a woman standing there, and this is not you, Miss Heyman, is that correct?
No, that is not me, and
that is another old photo.
is what he's saying. That actually looks like his ex.
The ex at the grocery store?
Yes.
And that's how crazy it done got, because that ain't her. That don't look like her. That's an old picture. And if you go looking for something, you gonna find it. And she.
Well, she did find some interesting photographs, admittedly.
And so why was this in your recent folder?
Same thing. I was just recalling some old. I had brought back a bunch of old pictures. It wasn't just those. Them was just the ones she picked out. But it was a bunch of old pictures in there.
Well, you know what, Mr. Cutler? There's the girlfriend side, there's the boyfriend side, and there's the ex's side. And we have her here today.
Oh,
Roman, would you escort her in?
And see, this is what I'm talking about. That is completely inappropriate.
Go straight to the witness.
Would you state your name, please, for the court record?
Miss Teacher Marie Johnson.
Okay. Ms. Johnson, what is the nature of your relationship with Mr. Williams?
Friendly, I'd say.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you say?
No, that's not true.
So we've heard a story from Ms. Heyman that she was at the grocery store, she saw you, and you came over to where she was, and you were going to be making dinner for Mr. Williams that evening.
I did deliberately add to my cart and approach her and had said, "This dinner's for your man." And I know that was wrong. Thinking back, how petty. I didn't have to do that, but I did.
Is this you in this photo?
It is not. It could be. It looks like me. Maybe I forgot that we took the photo, but it's not me.
So my question to you is, when was the last time you two were together?
We hung out yesterday while Lauren was asleep.
Ms. Heyman, did you know this?
No.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Did you all hang out yesterday?
We hung out, but it really wasn't even like that. She asked me to come outside to smoke. I come outside to smoke. We walking around smoking, just taking pictures, video for my social media. That's it.
We look like Atlanta's cutest couple because then we got a carousel ride with the horse and buggy.
Ms. Heyman, you got a strange look on your face. What is that?
Because according to him, they don't hang out. Like, this is what he tells me. So I'm just a little confused. Correct.
Mr. Williams?
We ain't hung out in the last 2 months. The only time we hung out was last night. And like I said, it really just was, hey, come smoke. And then it turned into something totally different. But we, like I said,
But how
we
does it
didn't
get
do
there?
nothing.
Like, how does it get there? That's crazy.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Cutler, let me tell you what we're working with. We got car smell like perfume. She believes still sleeping with his ex. We've got pictures of women found in his phone. And we've got this testimony from Miss Johnson. And for all these reasons, Miss Heyman is sure that Mr. Williams is cheating. And she said, are you done if you find out he is?
Yeah, he gotta go.
He gotta go.
Fortunately, this court has done a full and a complete investigation to get to the bottom of this. At this time, the court will call a certified polygraph examiner, Michael Williams, to determine, is he cheating? Would you state your credentials, please, for the court?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm a former federal agent with over 25 years of law enforcement experience. I'm currently a polygraph examiner certified in the state of Georgia and also a licensed private detective.
Mr. Williams, Mr. Michael Williams, you asked Mr. Williams, since the beginning of your relationship with Ms. Heyman, have you had sexual intercourse with Ms. Johnson? What was his response to that question?
Your Honor, he said no.
What did the polygraph determine?
The polygraph determined he was being truthful.
You also asked Mr. Williams, since the beginning of your relationship with Ms. Heyman, have you had sexual intercourse with any other woman? What was his response?
Your Honor, he said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
On this particular question, Your Honor, the lie detector determined he was being truthful.
Look at that. That's crazy. He was telling the truth.
I'm kind of glad, because y'all cute. But you have got to stop messing around. Either be in it or not. Because...
I mean, clearly Ms. Johnson has no boundaries.
When people are insecure, it's because they are afraid. And you have given her reason to be fearful because you won't set proper boundaries with your exes. And, you know, these chili wings, I mean, they may be all that, but let her make you some wings at home.
Yeah,
to help her
she
figure.
gonna cook a lot when you get home after these results.
Okay.